Hello, in the video today we're gonna take a look at a first sneak peek into the Halloween Cup Ultra League meta here. This is going to be a very interesting one, and I want to highlight, of course, the best Pokemon that you can run in this meta, which most likely going to be the Giratina altered form with Dragon Breath. This Pokemon basically beats all its hard counters, which is kind of crazy. Like not all of them, of course. You have like fairy types, like charm users, which you kind of want to have something to deal with, where our backline comes in clutch. Like especially the Tentacruel will be very cool for this. And also, like, of course, like there are some dark types available, but those dark types you actually usually win in the two-shot scenario against them, just because Dragon Breath just chunks them so much. I think in the lead, definitely the Dragon Breath might be the better play to go. Maybe as a sales swap, the Shadow Claw might be still better, because you're going to be able to generate more energy and get yourself a better energy advantage from that. But otherwise, this team is pretty solid. I played for some games here against some people from Twitter. Thanks everybody who sent them battle as well. But yeah, we have here a team that's also, of course, a little bit expensive. Our Tentacruel is a hundo. It's actually I think it's my second of my first hundo. Actually, I think the first hundo that I ever caught in Pokemon Go, it's my Tentacruel here. Funny that I still have this, funny that I can still use it, especially now in the Ultra League. And Scald going to be able to finish up so many matchups. Tentacruel in the back was actually one of the coolest things that I could have there. Like, it was so much fun to play it. We started pretty late into this matchup, don't know why, game lagged a little bit, but we see an XL Frostless against us, which of course is not ideal. This thing is actually going to be a core breaker for a ton of Pokemon in this meta, but we will see what they will do with this here right now. It's a little bit tricky to get, of course, getting the XL candy. Of course, you're going to have now the winter season coming up again, where you most likely will be able to get some XL candies for this Pokemon, but right now at least it's going to be a little bit tough. They swap into a Scyther, which is hilarious because it's also going to be available. This Pokemon, actually, I don't really know the moveset. I know that they have Aerial Ace, I think they have Exeter, but they also have Night Slash, which I didn't know, which is going to do some solid damage here. Not something where I'm really too worried about, but still, I might have wanted to shield this, but like, yeah, I didn't expect Scyther here. Of course, my opponent here just goes for the full-on spice. Like, they are always playing some spicier stuff, but still not some stuff that doesn't work at all, like Pokemon that at least have double moves and stuff like this. We see that we're gonna get a boost here with our Giratina. It's only a one-time boost now, so it's not as significant, but still helps us a little bit here. We tried to catch, didn't work out, and we can go back into our Tentacruel now, which can farm down the Skullbird. We will be able to get to another move against the opponent as well, and we should be pretty fine here. They're gonna go for one bait here, like for one time, basically trying to get rid of my shield, or like trying to debuff my defense mainly there, and now I can just go ahead and go for Scald. One Shadow Ball didn't knock us out, we are not even close. And Tentacruel, especially if you have a fully XL version of this Pokemon, is so bulky in this meta that I actually think getting a full XL version of Tentacruel might be worth it. I think this Pokemon might be really decent in the Ultra League in general nowadays, thanks to the move update with Scald, because you're just gonna get there way faster, and it has so many good matchups in this meta as well. Here, for example, we get the Charmer in here, which is amazing for us. We don't have to shield here against this Pokemon, but I kind of want to shield because I already have the opponent's Giratina very low, and I don't really want to get too low in terms of my health here, and I would be able to get my shield back anyway against the Giratina that comes back in, and otherwise I will be able to debuff the opponent's defense by 2 stages at least, which will allow me to definitely have a very good time there. We see that they go for one Dragon Claw, fine for us, we can go for one Scald. We should be able to get back our shield here, and this shield gonna come back there, which is nice, and we can go for another Scald here, trying to knock them out. Let's see if they want to let this move go through, and they will let this move go through, which allows us now to have this match up against the Nidoqueen. We will be able to go for one Scald if I wanted to, but I swap out into my Giratina. Having access here now to the Dragon Claw will be very decent, as we will be able to get to this move very fast. We can let the move go through. It's going to be an Earth Power, and they will be able to farm us down, but it's still okay, as we still have one move dot, and we have the Awkward Heal on our rank 1 Shadow version of the Drapion. This cup in general, I think I'm not going to showcase too many teams for this cup, like maybe like for 3 days or 4 days, and then go back to Great League, because most people will not be able to attend this cup because it's very XL heavy. There are so many Pokemon that either you have legendary Pokemon or you have XL Pokemon, it seems like, in this cup, so it's not really easy to play. I might make a team with like top non-XL team there, but maybe also try to exclude stuff like Giratina because it's like a legendary, even though it's currently like it was available. Have to see. It's a little bit tricky with this cup. We see an Alolan Muk in the lead. You think this is a horrible matchup, and you're not completely wrong, but also not really right, because this thing still gonna get hurt very hard by our fast move and our Dragon Claws, as we see an Obstagoon coming in. I actually misplayed this here a little bit. I should have went for the for the debuff first, and I was like, how likely is it that they are on the Hyper Beam? I don't think it's very likely that they are on the Hyper Beam, but I was wrong. We're gonna get Hyper Beam, but even my not perfect PvP IV version of the Tentacruel can take it pretty easily. We will be able to go for an Acid Spray. Sadly, they're going to let this move go through, but I will be able to get some energy now with some Poison Stings, which should help us out as well here, as our Drapion will have a good time, but sadly, we will see another Dark type in the back with the Scrafty. The thing here now is we will be able to go for an Aqua Tail, and we still have our Ghost type in the back, which has only really Dragon type moves there. So this is the cool thing about also the Giratina with Dragon Breath compared to the version where you have Shadow Claw. You will be able to have like this a very decent matchup against the Scrafty. We will see actually the opponent going into their Muk again. We will get to another charge move here. We're going to throw our next one as well. I'm going to shield this move up, even though it's an Acid Spray. It was kind of likely that it's an Acid Spray, but I kind of wanted to keep my Giratina just in case for the opponent's... It's called for the opponent's Scrafty here. I don't think I should have shielded this one though, because I still had a shield left, but I kind of needed to get rid of the final shield there or get some damage on them, because they cannot really hit me here against the Drapion. They have to go for the Power Punch, and that would be fine for me, but it's still going to be a tough one here, because I have to go for double Aqua Tail. First Aqua Tail comes through here, this Aqua Tail will get the shield, and I will still be able with like 1 HP to get to the final one, knocking out the opponent, and we will be able to win this game here as well. Next opponent, we will see the next opponent here having Giratina in the lead. Giratina against Giratina. This time around they have the Shadow Claw still. I think they win the 1 shield with this, but lose the 2 shield or something like this. It's definitely something that you win as a Dragon Breath version if you invest more shields, but I didn't really want to invest more shields, so I'm going to swap out into my Drapion. I will be able to get the Skuntank out of the way. And I kind of misplayed this here as well, I think. Yeah, I go for my Aqua Tail, which is fine. I go for more Aqua Tails as well, which is fine. But I'm going to shield up this move here, expecting that they might want to go for a Flamethrower. And they go for the Crunch, but also I thought I would be able to get my shield back anyway with this. But I guess the Aqua Tail doesn't do enough damage to threaten the opponent here. They have the better fast move and Poison Jab, just doing more damage in general. Like it's just the pure damage of the fast move, even though it's resisted, kind of adds up too much. As we go down here, we will be able to farm them down with our Giratina though, and we will be able to see the opponent's Giratina coming back in here. We can go for a Dragon Claw. Should swap out soon, but we will see. We will be able to shield up the opponent's next move. Going to be a Dragon Claw again. We tried to swap, but it didn't work out. I kind of underestimated the energy that they had, and now we have a Nidoqueen against us in the back, and there's nothing that I really can do here. I thought of going for the Acid Spray because it's a very likely shield by the opponent, as our Scald might have knocked them out there, at least it would have got them close, but the Acid Spray actually gets no shield, so there's nothing I can do here anyway. Very good game for my opponent here, very well played by them. We're sadly gonna go down here, and we will have to lose this game. Going into the final game now, we will see an opponent here with the Giratina against the Nidoqueen. Pretty neutral matchup here, to be fair. We're going to see them going for Earth Power most likely immediately. So what I'm going to do here, because my backline doesn't really want to face Nidoqueen too much, I'm going to shield the first move because there's no way that they bait. Like, the reason here is most people will shield the first move because Earth Power doesn't knock them out. So it's kind of safe to shield this. And we see a Moltres coming in. Moltres is actually really cool in this current meta, as this Pokemon is able to have one of the coolest typings while having Wing Attack and Brave Bird, while also having now the boosted version of Ancient Power as a moveset. It's kind of a core breaker and kind of does a lot of damage. As we see here, we can tank a 1 Brave Bird just barely, and we will be able to go for 1 more Aqua Tail. So Aqua Tail going to do some nice damage, knock them out because of the debuff, and we will see the Nidoqueen coming in, where we actually just get to 1 more Aqua Tail with a 1 HP in a Dream. We will be able to get the final shield by the opponent. We can go into our own Giratina, we can let this move go through, and I would expect that they have another Dark type in the back because it's just Nido double Dark again, and it's going to be an Umbreon, where we can go into our of course into our Tentacruel here, and Tentacruel against Umbreon is a very good matchup for the Tentacruel. We can go for 1 move here with the acid spray, which will debuff the opponent's defenses, and we will be able to go for another Scald afterwards, and the Scald should be able to knock them out, as we will see here that the Scald should come through after this one, but maybe it's actually not enough. Let's see. We see that the Scald coming through now. This will do some nice damage, especially after the 2 debuffs. We'll put them into the red health. I'm not knocking them out. They go into the Nidoqueen. I let this move go through. It's going to be a Poison Fang, which is amazing for us. We can swap out, and this will be a good game as we can go for one more Dragon Claw and win this final game. Just a short video for the new cup that's coming out in around 3 hours when you see this. And yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Leave a like if you haven't, subscribe if you haven't, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye!